Today, Dr. Orloff is with Banyan Books for this special conversation and workshop on her beautiful new set of Oracle cards, the Empath's Empowerment Deck, which is based off the material from her 3 books for empaths. Everybody, please join me in a warm welcome for Judith Orloff. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here.
Okay, so maybe I'll ask Jacob, our wonderful producer and events curator, Jacob Steele's working in the background, and he's going to bring up some images of some cards as examples for everyone to get familiar. And this first one is the instructions card. And Judith, you had something you wanted to say about that and letting people know how
I did. The instructions for how to use the deck are on a card in the deck, and it's the first card. So, but just know that you want to set it aside, because if you shuffle it, it will be part of the shuffle, and that's not as good. So you take the instructions, put it aside. So these cards are helpful for empathic, caring people who tend to get burnout from overgiving or sensory overload or taking on the stress of the world. So the secret is ask only one question, because I know people have tons of questions, which if you have a card deck, you have the rest of your time here on earth to use it. So don't feel rushed, and just ask one question at a time so you get the clearest answer. So you ask the inner question, formulate it, whatever it is. It's perfect. Your question is perfect. And then shuffle the cards, spread them out, let your hand reach out to one, pick it, read it. Aha, there it is. And then put it into action. That's it. Those are the instructions.
Wonderful. Thank you. So maybe, Jacob, we can get you to bring up the first example card, which is the Honor Your Inner Child card. And Judith, you can tell us a bit about that.
This is such a pretty card. I'd like everyone to tune in to this card, the colors, the innocence, the part of us that needs to be awakened, especially as empaths, because so many inner children who, empaths who have their inner children, like mine, they were shamed for their abilities. Oh, honey, you need to get a thicker skin. You need to be stronger. You need to toughen up to live in our world. These are the kind of messages that empaths were given as children. And so you have to realize none of them are true, and begin to honor and claim that inner empath child who wants to come out, who wants to play, who wants to tune in, who wants to feel energy. You want to give that child permission to come out. And everybody who's here on this call, you have an inner child, and I love your inner child. I just want to say that. And I'm so sorry you were hurt. And as I know, so many empaths were hurt as children, or not seen, not heard. They felt like they didn't belong. And so part of your awakening journey as an empath and sensitive person is to honor your inner child's needs always in your life, to have him or her with you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. The next card we have is the Honor Your Sensitivities card.
Ah, the rose. So if everyone could feel into this card. Now, my process of creating this deck was that I matched the messages I want to convey with the image that Elena Ray had. And so this is a mix of reality plus photographic overlay. So it creates an energy. She's very in touch with energy. And so this is an expansion of your sensitivities. Your sensitivities are a gift. Be proud of who you are. Put your hand over your heart and inwardly say, I embrace my loving heart. And there might be pain there when people do this. I embrace my loving heart. There might be pain there, but there's a warm sun. In Taoism, Taoism is my primary path the last 30 years. It's primary tenet of Taoism is to come from your heart. And the heart has the highest value in life, the heart, very high value to strive for in our meditations, in our lives. And so putting your hand on your heart is a soothing technique. and it will help you to get in touch with your sensitivities as adults. I assume there aren't any children, but if there are children, you're welcome to honor your sensitivities. But as adults, sometimes that means reclaiming it. So each person, if you get this card, really think back on your early life. Sometimes people can't remember their childhood, because it was so difficult. It's all right too. You don't have to force yourself to remember it, but what you want to do is honor your sensitivities in your life today, in your relationships, at work, in your private time. Make sure you're out in nature a lot. Make sure you have enough alone time. You can really work with yourself on how can I honor my sensitivities today? So this card is an invitation, to honor your sensitivities and work with any shame you might have, especially, little boys who are empaths are called crybabies and, put down, and many sensitive children are bullied. It's just horrible. And so for you to, begin to honor your sensitivities, whatever age, if you're 10, if you're 99, any time is a good time to start. There is no timeline on this. The timeline is only when you're ready. And if you're not ready, don't do it. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you have to want to do. So it's not something you have to force yourself to do. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Don't do it. But if you are interested in expanding your sensitivities and being your empowered empath self, this will help you. These cards will help you.